Hey everybody. So I know you guys saw on Facebook that we got this really cool desk. The original project plan was to make a desk. Well, that didn't come out very well. So, or it wasn't coming out very well. And so we ended up getting a desk for the man cave. However, there is a project that we planned on doing. And so I'm going to take you through it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So this is a piece, it's a slab of spalted maple. And so spalted is just a fancy way of saying rotting, right? So this right here, this black stuff, is actually a fungus that starts to grow through the wood, and this is like right before it starts to break it down and actually rot. So this is just beyond beautiful, this whole giant slab. So what we're going to do with this slab is we're going to start out with planing it, and then we're going to flip it over and plane the other side, and then we're going to do something really cool. We're going to make this slab a coffee table in the shape of the state of New Hampshire. So this is what we're going to do, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to hang out with me, let's do this. So this is a DeWalt electric planer. This thing is a lifesaver. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this on 0, and we're going to do our first pass. So 0 is okay, but I think we need a little bit more. So we're going to bring it up to, I don't know, we'll do 2 clicks on this little thing and see what happens then. I think we just need to go a little bit deeper because it's not really, it's not completely level, but this will hopefully bring it down to where it is level. Take it down a little bit more here. We'll go to 1/64. That's a lot better. So we're going to take that down through the whole width of the board. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, so we got some sawdust. So this is the first pass with the planer on the spalted maple slab. So what you see is, so this was cut on a lumber mill, sawmill. So these are the milling marks. So these are low points that the planer went over and didn't really hit. And this was taking the whole thing down 1/64 of an inch. So you can see it's very, very, very beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it down a little bit more. And we're going to take down all these rough patches and reveal some more beauty. You got all these really nice bug holes in here that will end up blowing out, and but you can just see there's a lot of beauty here. but we want to have a nice even finish when we're done, and as of right now we don't. So we're going to keep on planing and come back to you in a second. All right, so now we are at, this is 4 passes with the planer. So you can see a lot of the mill marks are, as far as the rough mill marks are gone. It's a little bit right here. But you can see it's, you get the planer marks, the lines. But what I'm about to do is we're going to bring this down 1/32 of an inch. So from front to back, line by line, and that should hopefully give us our pre-sanding slab. So this is pretty awesome. We'll take it from this side too. You can just see, oh man, that's pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to bring this down 1/32 of an inch. We'll be back. All right, so here we have our spalted maple slab. It has been planed down to as smooth as I can possibly make it with the electric hand planer. So this is gorgeous. So now I'm really debating whether I'm going to turn this slab into the state of New Hampshire. The reason is because a lot of this material is going to end up getting cut out, but I'm going to take a look at it and see how it's going to be cut. And yeah, I mean, it's a big slab anyway. It'd have to be cut down a little bit as far as length, but the live edge is something. And so now that this is done, we're going to start sanding. But the first thing I need to do is flip it over and just do a real quick planing on the underside, just so it's smooth and not all grossety like this one was when it started. So we'll get back there. Okay, so this is the underside of, well, this is the side that I deemed the underside. So I'm going to go ahead and plane this down just so it's smooth and not all rough milled and whatever. And we'll take a look at what that looks like here in a few. All right, so this is the underside of the table, which is now pretty much one level. I didn't go crazy on it. I just wanted to get the majority of the rough stuff, and there was a little bit of mold on the bottom of it, but that's normal. But yeah, so we took all that out, and we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to clean up this. Lots of sawdust. And we're going to start sanding with 80 grit and take out the plain lines. And then after we're done sanding with the 80 grit, I'll put the stencil on there and see how it looks. All right, so this is our stencil. So this is 48 inches long and about 30 inches wide for the state of New Hampshire. So this is what I'm looking at, is how this is going to look when we cut that wood out. Now, for those of you that have been to the state of New Hampshire, and this is my kind of opinion when I'm looking at this, is we got this really cool ridge here that could, I guess, represent the mountains. And this is where we live, right here. So that looks pretty cool. I think we're going to take a look at it from the other side as well and see what that looks like. So this is the other side of the slab, and this is what we're looking at as well. See how that's going to look when it's all cut out. And I really like this knot hole right here. So I'm thinking about blowing that out, and when we epoxy this, maybe put a little bit of blue aquarium rocks in there, little pebbles, so it'll look like a lake. Granted, it's not really like in the lakes region of New Hampshire, because then we lose that part. But I don't know. I think the original side that we were planning is going to be the original side. So I'm going to tape this off, and we're going to start cutting material and with a jigsaw, and then we have our table and we can start sanding. This is going to be cool. Alright, so our stencil is all traced out, so that's going to be our coffee table in the shape of the state of New Hampshire. So I'm going to start cutting with a jigsaw. And watch my fingers. Alright, and so here we have our state of New Hampshire coffee table slab, all cut out with the jigsaw. And I think I'm gonna go take a nap. But yeah, this is it's all really cool. I'm gonna start with 80 grit and work my way up to 220, maybe even 300. See where we end up, and then it'll have well, we'll go through the whole thing, but anyway, it's pretty awesome. All right, bye. Alright, so I've sanded with 80 grit, and now I just did my first couple passes with 120, and you can see a lot of this stuff really popping. It's going to be even better when it's epoxied, but this is where we're at so far, and yeah, I think that's pretty cool. A little tiny crack right there, but I think I'm just going to be gentle with it, and we'll the epoxy will hold that in as we get that on there. But yeah, it's really smooth. But yeah, it's coming right along.